Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching She-Hulk episode 5. Now, with this episode, I feel that the series is finally hitting its groove when it comes to its jokes and when it comes to its plot structure. Let's get to the story, shall we? The story here is that Titania, the woman that She-Hulk had a battle in court with back in the first episode, has been selling a whole line of beauty products under the She-Hulk name, and she happens to sue Jennifer Walters for trademark infringement. So She-Hulk has to countersue her and use her experience with using She-Hulk as a dating profile in order to win the case that's against her. And she also happens to get a new costume from a superhuman fashion designer. Unfortunately, this fashion designer is not Edna Mode. I think that would have been really funny. But overall, I think this episode actually does work out, mainly because it focuses its humor on some more aspects of the superhuman world that feel more ripe for comedy and doesn't feel like it's attacking any groups, at least not as aggressively this time. On top of that, I really do appreciate Luke as a character. He feels like he's straight out of The Devil Wears Prada, and I find that kind of character type innately pretty humorous. Similar to, say, Edna Mode from The Incredibles. And since both are owned by Disney at this point, I think that would have been really funny if they got someone to, try to act like Edna. But I also found it pretty funny that David Otunga was one of the guys that Jennifer Walters dated, because Otunga happens to be a Harvard-educated lawyer in WWE, so I found that pretty humorous. Too bad the Nexus didn't really work out for him. But there are still cringe-worthy jokes throughout the episode, but that's to be expected at this point when it comes to the overall humor of the series. Thankfully, they don't come in that often, and they're even built off of a bit in the credits sequence. And I do appreciate that they actually allow Titania to be a shallow villainess who's really only in it for the money and for the name recognition that She-Hulk would give her. I know a lot of celebrities who do these kinds of things just to get a quick buck without actually thinking about it. So I'm glad the series actually does do that with Titania. They don't try to, and they don't try to say that she is somehow a redeemable villainess. She turns out just a shallow cash grabber. So yeah, this does show the series can succeed when it comes to this kind of courtroom setup and when it comes to some of its jokes, which just makes it all the more frustrating in previous episodes when they constantly blundered. So I just hope that the series can give us episodes like this and refine the jokes and refine the targets that She-Hulk has to go through, as opposed to all the jokes that would just divide the audience. But with a certain character coming in at the very end, with the one that people have been looking forward to for quite a while, I hope that builds interest back in the show. Even if it does feel like Disney probably won't be able to do most of the great stuff that Netflix was able to do with the character. And I think you know which one I'm talking about. But we'll see you next time.